Of from mind excuse me. I mess it up half the time. Here we go. I'm gonna start it again. Um, this is another episode of From Anxious Thoughts to Mindful Moments. I'm so glad that you're here with me tonight. I hope you've had a wonderful weekend and an opportunity to practice some of the various exercises, oils, herbs, meditations that we've been practicing on this program. So, tonight we're going to do some things we've been doing and add some new things. And as I said, I'm really glad that you're here with me once again. So, I'm going to take off my jewelry as I do to prepare for getting ready for bed because we've talked about in each episode how forming a routine for yourself really can help you to start to calm down, wind down, and get ready for sleep. So I'm going to take off these things because who wants to sleep with a bunch of stuff on your body, right? And also, it's a signal to my brain that I'm starting to go into relaxation mode and get ready to go to sleep. Um, I even do it during the day if I decide that I'm gonna take a nap, I start the routine. So think about how your routine should start, and it will signal to your brain that you're ready to start to wind down and get some rest, whether it's for the night or a nap, whatever it happens to be. So on another episode, I had my selenite wand, and I've got it tonight. I like to kind of run it down my body. It's really selenite is really great for removing negative energy, and I just kind of slide it, and it feels good too to hold in the hand. It's cold, like most stones and crystals are, and it's kind of got some ribbing on it, right? So it feels kind of good in my hand, and it's just another signal that I'm getting ready to relax. Um, and you can pick those up somewhere. I was at the Four of Wands in Fayetteville, Arkansas this weekend. If you're in Massachusetts, I love Taproot Treasures. Definitely have crystals and stones and selenite wands like this one that can really just help to remove negativity and kind of rebalance, right? Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is um, put a little bit of essential oils on my hands and breathe it in. And tonight, I really felt like I wanted to use the chocolate oil that I have. Chocolate is very calming. The smell of it brings really great memories. Um, so I like to use the chocolate, rub it into your hands and breathe it in. And then you can choose whatever oils you like. We've talked about lavender oil and some other oils, but I love this chocolate. If you have an opportunity to pick some up, it's really smells so good. Breathe it in. I can already start to feel the relaxation. I love aromatherapy. And then I like to kind of just rub it into my hands. It's the chocolate oil is kind of a rich, thick oil, and it smells delightful. It's very calming. So as you try different things like this, you can try using different essential oils, some of them that we talk about, or some that you find on your own. And you kind of find your own way and what works for you to help you to calm, give your brain those signals that it's time to calm down and get some rest. So I also today I was at Ozark Natural Foods in Fayetteville, and I got this passion flower. As you know, I reviewed another blend from Birthsong Botanicals that has passion flower in it, and I love that for um, reducing stress, relaxing. But sometimes I just like the passion flower. So passion flower or passiflora, it's the first herb that I actually used for anxiety. So sometimes I just go back to just regular passion flower without anything else in it, and I'm just going to tell you a little bit about passion flower. So, you can use it for anxiety, for sleep issues, for pain. menopausal symptoms, and ADHD. And some people also apply it to burns. But it has a lot of the properties that are definitely for relaxation. And like with any herbs that you decide to try, I always recommend that you start low and slow. So you might want to just, you can look at this dropper, right? Just take like quarter dropper to start with. And if you put it under your tongue, it's called sublingual application, right? It goes into your system much more quickly. Um, some of them don't taste very good, so you might want to have water available to chase it with. But if you put it in, if you're feeling very anxious, outside your body, not grounded, putting it under your tongue, it will work very quickly. Right. So I'm going to put a little bit, just a few drops, as I'm working on winding down to relax and get ready for bed. I am going to drink a little water because when you put it under your tongue, sometimes it's a little stingy too. Now, of course, passion flower comes in other forms. You can buy the tea, you can rub it onto your skin. I like to use tinctures for things like this because I want to really wind down. I want to get my body ready for sleep and for rest. So I want it to work more, a little more quickly. So I use the sublingual. You can also just put it in a glass of water and just sip on it. If you're having trouble with anxiety throughout the day, you might want to consider doing that. Just, maybe half a dropper in a full glass of water and just sip it through the day or use some passion flower tea. And it could really help to reduce the stress, reduce anxious thoughts. Um, so I hope that you're all doing really well with your beginning meditation practice or restarting a meditation practice, and also looking at mindfulness and breathing. Tonight, I want to talk a little bit about mantra meditation because I have found mantra to really help with refocusing my brain, use of relaxation, reminding myself to breathe properly. It's kind of a trigger for those things because you are going to learn to use it that way. And the first step is really figuring out what is your mantra. So I always recommend to people to have not more than 7 syllables for a mantra. If you're not familiar with mantra, it's just really a phrase that you say to yourself in meditation. And then as you go along and practice with the meditation, you can also use it in just in everyday life to as a trigger to help you to relax. So I always recommend, as I said, that it's short, not more than 7 syllables, and something that you can remember easily, and something that will not trigger any pain or trauma, right? So my favorite mantra actually is live love, live love. Very simple, right? Or it could be I am love repeated, or whatever feels good to you. So take a few moments and think about what you'd like your mantra to be. Something that's positive, that is not triggering of any trauma, and is brief, 7 syllables or less. If you can't think of one right now, that's perfectly fine. You can use mine, live love, I am love, either of those. Um, because we're going to practice a mantra meditation tonight. So, people have used chanting for centuries, and the use of the mantra, oftentimes you see people who do yoga using mantra, right? But you can use it, as I said, to help yourself to use these words for calming purposes. And then, as you are more and more familiar with those words and the feeling of calm, then you can use it in your everyday life to trigger the same response. So let's see. We're going to do a mantra meditation. So I hope you're comfortable in a comfortable spot. and um, just try to have both feet flat on the floor and turn your palms up like this to receive. If you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. You can turn them over. There's no judgment at all. I want you to feel comfortable in what you're doing in your body as you learn this practice. If it's not new to you, I hope you'll just follow along. So, what I'm going to do, hopefully by now you've thought of a phrase that you can use, or you've decided to use one of mine. And later you can think about what you really want your mantra to be. I'm not putting you on the spot. You don't have to take this one and run with it. You could decide later that it's going to be something completely different. So, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of breathing and relaxation. And then I'm going to ask you to say out loud the mantra 10 times. Now, you can do this either so you can breathe in. Let's say there's a few words, right? Let's say there's two words. So you say the word, you breathe in, you say the word, the second word, you breathe out. So it'll be like this. Live, love. You can do it that way. Or you can say the whole thing, live, love. Like that. And we're gonna do that 10 times. So whichever way is most comfortable tonight, you could try doing it a little bit of each and see what feels good to you. I prefer to say the mantra and then do the breath, say the mantra and then do the breath. So I'm gonna try to do a little bit of each in the first 10. The second 10, you're gonna move your lips like that, but not say anything. And then the third time, you're just going to say it to yourself and do the breathing. Okay, so there's 10 times out loud, 10 times moving your lips, 10 times to yourself, and with the breathing. Um, all right, I hope you're ready. So try and get as comfortable as you can. I want you to take a cleansing breath in through your nose and release it. Nice long breath out. Now, tighten your shoulders up to your ears, really tight, and then relax. Tighten your hands and fists and relax. And we're going to take another cleansing breath in through the nose and release. Very good. Now squeeze your buttocks and your thighs, squeeze and relax. Squeeze your toes together, your feet, squeeze and relax. Close your eyes if you're comfortable. You feel your whole body relax into the chair or the couch, wherever you are, as you take a third cleansing breath in through the nose and release. We're going to say our mantra 10 times with a breath in between. Live, love. Live, love. live, love, live, love, live, love, live, love. Live, love, last one. Live, love. Feel the relaxation in your body as you familiarize yourself with your mantra. Now we will continue. Move your lips, saying the words, but do not speak, with a breath between each mantra. Live as you're feeling your body and mind relax. If any thoughts have come into your mind, chase them away and just simply say your mantra to yourself. Now we will continue with the third phase, where you say the mantra to yourself and breathe between each time that you say it. 5 more times to yourself. Say your mantra and breathe. Now that you've connected with your mantra, you can use this mantra anytime to help you to relax, trigger your mind to relax. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1. When I get to 1, make sure you open your eyes and come back here with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So I really love mantra, as I've said. I've used that mantra, live, love, gosh, for almost 30 years. And I do have a couple of others that I like. I think when you first start, it's good to pick one mantra and stick with it for a little while. Use it each night, just like we did. If you can't do all three steps because your mind chatter starts to come in and you just can't focus to do it for that long, that's okay. No judgment at all. Start with what you can do. Maybe start with saying it out loud 10 times with the nice long breath. Remember, the long breaths stimulate your vagus nerve, which, when you're stimulating your vagus nerve, you're stimulating your parasympathetic nervous system, which is for rest and refresh. So, all you have to remember is that if a bear is chasing you, you cannot possibly use those long breaths. It's for the rest and refresh. That's what we're stimulating with the long breaths. And so you say your mantra, chase away your thoughts 10 times with the breaths in between. You can start there. Once you've mastered that and you don't have a lot of extra chatter going on, then add the second step where you're not saying it out loud, but you're simply moving your lips to the words and doing the breaths in between. And again, once that feels good and like you can hold your attention simply to mantra and breath for that period of time, then the third level, where you're not saying the words out loud or mouthing them, but just simply saying them to yourself. Um, I love mantra because for so many reasons, but really it's like just something you have in your pocket to use anywhere. So doing this practice daily, and now let's say you're at your job and you're feeling very stressed, like maybe you're not going to get everything done that you need to for the day, your boss is giving you a hard time, whatever it happens to be. Just say the mantra, start saying the mantra to yourself, doing a few breaths, and you'll be surprised how well this really works to bring a sense of calm. Also, since we mostly are thinking about sleep and winding down for sleep, it's a great thing that you can do as you are getting ready for bed. Start saying the mantra to yourself. And then when you lay down in bed, do it a few more times to just kind of get you in the mode of relaxing your nervous system. Um, so I hope that that was really helpful. Um, the breath is just as important. So, we have done some breathing exercises on previous episodes, and we'll continue to do that. You want to practice the breath, even separate from the mantra. Make sure you're really getting a nice, deep breath into your diaphragm. Your rib cage is expanding. So, if you're only practicing the breath without the mantra, that's great too, because most people don't breathe properly and they're all up in their chest. Right? It's stimulating your fight or flight even more. So practicing breath and getting the breath down into your rib cage, into your belly, it's just so important. And I think in combination with mantra, they really help each other along. So I really hope that you'll consider adding that to your nightly practice as you get ready for bed, whatever your ritual happens to be. So finally tonight, as I've been doing, we've been talking a little bit about sleep hygiene, And last time we were talking about the room and, what the room looks like. Is it got piles of laundry, piles of unfinished projects? Is it an environment for sleep? So those are some things to perhaps fix if your environment is looking disorganized with lots of things that you have to tend to. These are not triggers for relaxation and sleep. And so if they can be removed from the bedroom area, that's good. And we talked about that last time. But how can you promote sleep, right? So really think about if you could redo your environment where you sleep, what would you add to it that would be calming to help you to go to sleep? What colors are there on the bed? What colors are there on the walls? Are there paintings? Are there photos? Are there any items that are triggering that cause you upset or pain? Really think about what is in your environment because it's a really big deal when you have sleep issues, issues with anxiety, trouble getting out of fight or flight. So, and really it just takes a few minutes to kind of assess that situation. So, first you're looking, can I just remove a little bit of clutter if that's an issue for you? Can I remove these that half finished, crochet project I was doing? Oh, that report from work that's sitting next to the bed. I also always recommend not doing work in the place that you're going to sleep. So if you remove that stuff, that's one step. And now it's assessing the environment. What colors do you find soothing? Now, I realize sometimes you can't make changes, right? Depends if you're renting, if it's your home, but you can make small changes that could really affect your ability to fall asleep. So let's say, you can't really paint the room, but you could add a tapestry that's very calming or a photograph that makes you feel relaxed. Um, Really kind of take a look at what's in the room, what can you remove, and what can you add that will promote sleep and relaxation. And most times people do find that they have certain things that they could take out and maybe something they could put in that would make a huge change in the environment and help them to feel prepared to sleep. So I'm so happy that you joined me tonight. It was really great to revisit passion flower as an herb for relaxation and calming the mind from anxiety. Um, the chocolate essential oil, I'm still smelling it. It's one of my faves. And I hope that you enjoyed the mantra meditation and breathing, and you can use that in your practice. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and please leave me some feedback. I'd love to know what you think, and also if there are certain things you'd like me to cover in future episodes. This is the first one for this week, and I'll be back on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Central. Thanks so much for joining me. I love you, and I hope that you're finding this useful. Good night.